Good day, El Paso. Your local junk hauler here, Charlie, aka Dumpster Daddy. In the truck, and my girl Opal. Right now, we are at Sam's. We're gonna get some gas. Let me get set up over here too. Got my 360 camera on top up there, and I want to start a new style, a couple of different type of vlogs. I want to attack the social media sphere a little bit harder, so I'm going to come out and start pumping out some content, a lot more content, and it's going to be a little, some different styles. So, when I'm in the truck and I'm driving around and I got a lot of time to sit and think, I'm going to just start sharing my thoughts about some of the things that I see and have done out here in the junk removal world in El Paso. So, like me and my wife, we moved out here from Orlando a couple years ago. We are coming up on year number 3 in May. I think it's May 24th or 21st. I gotta look back at my paperwork and see when we made it official. Because when we first came, go ahead. Yeah, when we first started, when we first came to El Paso, Texas from Orlando, Florida, we got all of the paperwork started for starting a business, so LLC, website. We went with GoDaddy at the time. We started looking at what type of insurances we needed, so we went with Next at the time. That was the most popular insurance company for junk removal at that time. And we went with that. All of that stuff was affordable. We did all of that stuff before we actually found a truck. My poor wife Bianca, my fiance at the time, we had to move in with her family, her mom and pop, which we're still at right now. We're looking for our own house, but during the time right after the pandemic, or the demic as I call it, homes was, people was paying astronomical prices for homes, and we wasn't finna do that. So we decided to minimize our expenses and move in with our in-laws. We did have a project that we wanted to come on and work on down here, but that was halted. So I won't even mention that too much. But so we did all that before we even found the truck. I had my poor wife dragging her all across El Paso, the city of El Paso, which I wanted to do anyway, to use GPS to see how I felt driving. And I had my own car. We had shipped my car here from Orlando, so we didn't drive. My wife, she worked it all out when we got our money from Disney, and our refund and everything. We were supposed to get married. That's a whole nother story in 2020. But our venue refunded our money, and then we got other vendors who gave us back money. So we had us a little nest egg when we first moved to El Paso, and we were figuring out what we were going to do and how we was going to invest that money into the city. So ultimately, we ended up finding a truck that we could use for our junk removal business. And I was going through some old footage. I was going through some stuff that I have in the cloud and on some of my other storage devices, and I found some of that old footage of us when we first got the truck. I found the photos from our actual first job. That was good to see it. Me and my wife talked about that in the previous vlog. And then I also found the video that I recorded, and like I said before, I've been trying to get into the YouTube game or get the confidence up to go ahead and do it for years. There's some other ideas that I'm going to be implementing real soon here on the Dumpster Daddy channel, and then I have my own channel that I'm going to go over there where I call myself, and I'm a C student, you know what I'm saying? When I was in, high school, college and all that, I didn't take, the education system that serious or whatever, so I did just enough to get by. So I call myself the, C-suite student, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to be over there. But I'm putting together this platform to where, I bring up and talk about different articles, and different, review different things going on in the junk removal space. And then over there, I'm going to be talking about the things that I'm studying to become a better business owner over here in the junk removal space, and then also some other things that affect how we do business here in El Paso. I like it here in El Paso. El Paso, I believe, is a city that's on the boom, is on the rise. Orlando, when I lived there, I saw Orlando develop into a bigger city. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but when I was working at the Walt Disney World Company, when I first got there, I lived closer to the Universal area, so and still in a theme park area, but more of like the city vibe. When you go to Disney World, Walt Disney World in Orlando, it's its own entity. It's its own city. Things have changed, I guess, a little bit, since they've been going through their thing with the government and all that type of stuff. But when I was there, it was like its own, governing entity. So you're pretty isolated from the city of Orlando and Kissimmee and everything that's going on around it. But everything going on outside of the square radius of Disney, Walt Disney World in Orlando, everything was developing and booming, and you saw tourism, you saw hotels going up, you saw them trying to fix up the cities. The biggest thing that you saw was the city and private government contracts, I guess, all that stuff going on. But they started widening the I-4 out there, the interstate I-4 out there in and around the downtown area and the city area of Orlando. So as I'm living here in El Paso, it don't take me much to figure out. I see a lot of construction. El Paso, I tell my wife all the time, I said El Paso is a little city that want to be a big city. I said you can feel it. Like, it's certain things here that's going on that you can see, like all of the new construction, the homes and things that are being built. Like I said, me and my wife, we're looking for homes. We're looking at home builders now, trying to figure out where we want to live. Now, we know for a fact that we want to go to the east side of El Paso. We live on the west side now, and I really like it over here. But some things have changed with my wife's work, and where she was working for this company over here on the west side, which she was only 8 minutes away. She, talks about how she has such a short drive to work after, years of us living in a downtown Orlando area, and, working for the Walt Disney World Company. And then we were living there pre-pandemic when they were doing all of the construction. They had the streets tore up. They was doing work at, all type of weird hours of day and night. They were putting in a fast lane in the expressway of I-4, like a tollway lane. And then they were doing some other things to accommodate for that on the regular interstate itself. And it was like we were inundated with traffic. A drive that should have took us 25 minutes to get to work, it would take us an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then trying to navigate in and around the city to get around the traffic and construction that was on I-4 was just insane. So moving to El Paso, it hasn't got to that extreme yet, but you can feel it coming. So I'm thinking that I like it here in El Paso, and I see an opportunity to invest in the city. El Paso does have a downtown, and these are all type of things that I'll talk about in this vlog and other vlogs and things of that nature. But like, I just think about picking a city, growing in it, and looking at how you can affect the community in which you live. And I think El Paso for me is a great place to start moving and shaking and growing and becoming the type of man that has some type of influence and say out here in the world. So that's what we're gonna be working on now. I see an opening here in El Paso to invest in the city. Like I said, we have our business here. We are also looking at moving and shaking and getting into the real estate game as well. We are looking at being a part of the chamber, you see so many other people who are deciding to invest in the city as well, and it gives you encouragement. You just got to pick your lane, figure out where it is that you want to go, and make a decision and do it. And that's what I've done. And I've chosen El Paso for my home base. My home is where I was born and raised, is Chicago, Illinois, Chicagoland area. I was born on the west side, or the west suburbs of Chicago, and my parents moved us around for a little bit until we settled down in the south suburbs of Chicago. Richton Park, Illinois is my hometown, where we have lived, and my parents still have that house to this day, where me and my brother and my little sister grew up. So, I'm looking at figuring out how to or where to do the same thing, and I have chosen El Paso. All right, folks, we are back in the truck. You saw right there that we just loaded up that couch. Give me a second. All right, we are good to go. So just loaded up that couch right there. We are headed to our premier donation partners, our premier donation location, the Assistance League of El Paso. Matter of fact, let me put that in the GPS right now. Should come right up, and it does. Boom. Put it on the screen there. Come on, buddy. All right, so we're headed over to the Assistance League of El Paso. My wife found them. She did her research when we first started this company, because when we first started, it was just the truck, and we had some sidewalls on it, but we were getting a lot of furniture still from a lot of people, and so I had nowhere to store it. I didn't think about getting a storage unit till later, I was putting stuff on the side of my in-laws' house where we live, where we were staying, and where we are currently staying, and it was just causing issues. So my wife did her research, got on Google, found this donation people, and we started building a relationship with them. She reached out to them. Clara and Bertha, I believe, were the first two individuals that embraced us when it came to being our donation partners. We actually had, when we joined the El Paso Chamber, we had our ribbon cutting there. So they have been a great partner for us. I, for one, am not into the resale game. I know that it is, a big game is a lot of money, but I'm having enough fun and it's enough of a challenge right now just running the actual business of El Paso, of the Dumpster Daddy junk removal here in El Paso. So I don't really want to get into trying to resell a bunch of furniture. We tried it one time. My wife hated it, and I don't blame her. We met a couple of scammers, but then I learned that El Paso doesn't let you. They don't think they're gonna give you like twice a year to do a yard sale in front of your house. So then, when it comes to reselling the furniture without us having our own place, I run into the challenge of where do I store the stuff, and then trying to get some, meet up with people. I tried it in the beginning. It just didn't work out well, and my frustration prompted my wife to say, we don't want to deal with this. Let's give it to somebody who can better use it and help it find a new home wherever the item, if the item is reusable. So the Assistance League of El Paso has helped us out tremendously when it comes to being able to donate these items. Instead of them being thrown into the landfill and the trash, they are actually repurposed, and that is one of our talking points, because when someone asks us what do we do, what items, if they want to make sure that they want to be donated, or if it's electronic and things like that. So we do have places that we can take these items, tires, electronics. That's all a part of getting to know the business, getting to know the city. We have a problem here in El Paso with getting rid of mattresses. It is harder to get rid of a mattress than it is to get rid of tires here in El Paso. That's amazing to me. I mean, you can dump them, but the landfill charges an astronomical amount of money, in my opinion, for them. You can take it to this other landfill, but they charge, like I found out, the hard way, and then, I'll use them every now and then in emergencies, but the New Mexico Camino landfill, they charge by the cubic yard. So they have, they just charge a lot of money. So trying to get rid of mattresses, I make it worth my while. And while I'm grabbing mattresses, that storage unit that you just saw us come from back there, I pile them up until it's worth me paying to find a place to dispose of them properly. So yes. Anyway, back to the Assistance League of El Paso. They are a all-volunteer organization. They have a few charities that they support. They tell us what we bring them mainly goes to their main charity, which is Operation School Bell, which supports the children of El Paso when it comes to them needing school supplies, uniforms, food, things of that nature. I haven't actually went to an event that, or went to see how they do what they do for the kids, but we have went to the thrift store where they sell some of the stuff, some of the items, and they have walked us around the back area where they have the uniforms and all of the other things, supplies that the children would need. So that's what we're headed to right now. Come right along with your boy. I'm gonna stop rambling, and when we get there, we'll see, because I'm gonna have to use this one. I think this is gonna be a junk find of the day for our website. right, so there it is, folks. We have done the donations, and we just got done with our repeat client here. Woo. Removing some construction debris for them. This is an embroidery shop, and I just got done speaking with them about getting me some more hats made, and I'm trying to come up with a design. Not a design, I got my logo and everything already, but just kind of trying to find the right fit, the right hat. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Is it's not the mesh back, it's a snapback, a 950, but I think I want to go with more of a mesh back type deal, breathable for this hot weather, because I beat them up. But we'll see. I'm gonna email them my logo later on this evening, and then we'll get to seeing what we got going there. We did pick up another client today between 5:30 and 6:30. He's on the far east side in the 79938 area. So we're gonna head back on over to the 79928 area and do some door hangers for a minute, and then we'll go over to the 79938. So anyway, right along with your boy. Here we go. Alrighty, folks. So we are about 3 minutes out from our next and last client of the day. Headed to his house right now. We drove past there. We did some door hangers in the area. He just texted me to ask me if we were still coming out, and of course, I know it is late in the day. Most people try to be done with their day. I try to be done with my day by this time, but if we can go out here and give him an estimate, maybe we can land the job. Maybe we can do it right away. Not sure. He showed me some pictures of the project. It's a garage clean out. Basically, it got a lot of stuff in his garage. So we going to go give it a look and see what we can make shape. Right along. So there we have it. That is the day. I don't know if the 360 or how much the 360 camera caught of that last job before the battery died. But we are back at the crib. I have dropped off my weed whacker with a gentleman from the chamber named Marcos. He is going to take a look at it, see if he can't figure out what's going on with my weed whacker. He said I needed to use a different type of gas, a longer lasting gas and all that type of stuff. So, but he's gonna take a look at it, see if he can't get it unclogged like he said, and all that other stuff. So, but we calling it a day. Back at it bright and early tomorrow. Dumpster Daddy